The lenses are the proper color, they are clean, not broken, securely mounted, and not missing. The truck is level front to rear and side to side. The coolant level is between the low and high mark, and the tank is not leaking. I would pull the dipstick out, wipe it clean, put it back in, pull it back out, and make sure the oil level is between the low and the high mark on the dipstick to make sure I have the proper oil level. The power steering fluid level is between the low and high mark, and the reservoir is not leaking. There are no leaking fluids under the truck. There are no leaking fluids or air leaks from the hoses or air lines. The power steering box is securely mounted and not leaking. The power steering hoses are securely attached, not cracked, worn, or leaking. The steering system connections have no missing castle nuts, bolts, or cotter keys. They are not worn or cracked, and the joints and sockets are not worn or loose. I am checking for proper inflation using a tire gauge. I am checking for cuts and damage that expose the body plies to the tire in the tread and sidewall. I am making sure that valve caps are not missing and valve stems are not damaged or broken. I am checking for bumps and bulges in the sidewall. I am checking for minimum tread depth with a tread depth gauge of 4/32 of an inch on the front tire. I am checking for damaged, cracked, or bent rim and that the rims do not have welding repairs. I am checking the lug nuts to make sure they are not loose or missing, and there are no signs of rust trails or shiny threads. I am checking the lug studs to make sure they are not broken or missing. I am making sure the holes for the lugs are not out of round. I am looking for missing, shifted, cracked, or broken leaf springs. I am also checking that the spring mounts are not cracked, broken, or missing any parts. I am checking the shock absorber to make sure it is securely attached, top and bottom, and not leaking. I am checking that the air lines are not leaking. I am making sure they are not cracked, worn, or frayed, and that the couplings and fittings are securely attached. I am checking to make sure there are no brake contaminants such as grease or oil on the brake lining and the brake drum. I am making sure the light lenses are the proper color, clean, not broken or missing, and are securely attached. I am making sure the reflectors are the proper color, clean, not broken, or missing. I am making sure the mirrors are clean and not cracked, and mirror brackets are not bent and are mounted securely with no missing parts. I am making sure the battery box cover is secure. The batteries must be securely mounted. The connections to the batteries inside the box must be tight and not showing signs of corrosion and not cracked or worn. I am checking to make sure the fuel tank is securely mounted, cap is tight, and that there are no leaks from tank or lines. I am checking to make sure the fuel tank is securely mounted, cap is tight, and that there are no leaks from the tank or lines. I am making sure the frame is not cracked, have any broken welds, holes, or other damage to the frame members. I am making sure the frame is not cracked, have any broken welds, holes, or other damage to the frame members or cargo area or floor on the trailer. I am making sure the electrical line is locked in place. It is not cut, cracked, chafed, spliced, taped, or worn. I'm also checking to make sure the electric line is not tangled, crimped, or pinched, or dragging against vehicle parts. I am checking the air lines to make sure they are locked in place. I am making sure they are not leaking by listening for leaks. I am also checking to make sure the airlines are not cut, cracked, chafed, and not tangled, crimped, or pinched, or dragging against vehicle parts. I am making sure the fifth wheel is securely mounted to the vehicle by the fifth wheel platform. I am inspecting the skid plate for cracks, breaks, excessive wear, and proper lubrication. I am making sure the apron is not bent, cracked, or broken. I am making sure the trailer is laying flat on the fifth wheel plate and there is no gap or space between the apron and fifth wheel. I am also inspecting for proper lubrication. I would crawl underneath the trailer and look at the jaws on the fifth wheel to make sure kingpin is in place and not bent, damaged, or worn. I would also look into the fifth wheel gap and inspect that the locking jaws are fully secured around the kingpin. I am inspecting the release arm to make sure it is in the engaged position and locked in place. I am inspecting that the landing gear is fully raised so the pads are off the ground, has no missing parts, the crank handle is secure, and the support frame and landing pads are not damaged. I am making sure that the fifth wheel is positioned properly so that the tractor frame will clear the landing gear when turning left and right. I am inspecting that reflector tape on the side of the trailer are present and affixed securely to the vehicle and that it covers at least 50% of the side of the trailer. I am inspecting that reflector tape on the side of the trailer are present and affixed securely to the vehicle and it covers 100% across the rear of the trailer. I am inspecting to make sure that tail light and clearance light lenses are the proper color, clean, not broken, securely attached, and not missing. I am inspecting that reflectors are the proper color, clean, not broken, securely attached, and not missing.